What's up, guys? My name is Ryan. I'm the owner of Hero Tactical. Um, Here's a little video going over the HT-03 binocular system. Bear with me, I'm not a big video guy, not used to doing this. As you can tell, I'm just standing in front of my prototype 3D printers, just making a quick video on this. So this is the HT-03 manual gain binocular system. I will probably have a better name. If you guys have good name ideas, I guess drop them in the comments. Open to suggestions. I haven't named it quite yet. This is a prototype one. There are some very minor changes that are going to be on the final version. Just small changes. It's not going to be anything massive. The functions are still going to be the same as to what I'm showing you. This one right here in my hands is auto gain only. All of them will be manual gain. This one is auto gain only because I am still in development for the manual gain boards. Those are an ongoing process. Those won't be done for another week or two. And so I won't actually have a manual gain one to show for another 2 weeks, I'd say, because I have to, wait for the PCBs to be turned around and all that. But the functions in the manual gain will be a simple one switch design. So it's going to have a on switch and rotary pot. You can hear it, and then it's just going to twist all the way around and back, click on and off, real nice and simple. I am going to be trying to make them start at minimum gain, but I have to have the boards in hand first before I can test and make sure that that's possible. It might have to start at maximum gain because I am doing an analog gain system, not a digital gain system. So it is going to have infinite adjustment from the top all the way to the bottom. It's going to be a smooth adjustment. There's no steps. There's no, where it jumps in between the resistance values. So it is just going to be a straight, here's the top, and then you can just turn it all the way down to nothing pretty much. So for the housing, this is going to be machined aluminum 7075 T6, and the machine parts are going to be the dovetail, the main bridge, and the arms, and then the rest of it is going to be injection molded. So that is going to be the battery plate, the battery cap, and the pods. That is just because this is playing into the strengths of each material. So a common failure point on plastic binoculars is going to be the arms and the hinge. They like to break there just because the plastic hinge, plastic is not that strong, especially when you have a rotation point there. So adding metal into the mix is going to make it just much stronger. And then the plastic pods is also just because metal pods have a higher likelihood of damaging your tubes when you drop them. Metal doesn't absorb as much force and shock. Plastic absorbs it a little bit better. Now the difference is almost none, but the difference is somewhat there. So I would say just plastic is better for the pods. And then as for the electronics, it is going to take a CR123A battery and also going to have an external Fisher port on the back. These can be run at the same time. You can put the battery in and the Fisher in, and it is regulated. It has over voltage protection, it has reverse protection, the surge protection, all that good stuff, right? You can also run it one at a time, so you can take out the battery. The external port will work just fine. You can run just the battery, and it's totally good to go. It's not going to make any difference. You can do whichever you please, or just leave them both in, and it'll totally be fine. And then it has a auto shut-off mechanism, so this is going to be controlled through reed switches. And so the switches have a magnet that it interacts with that is inside, and it will cut off in my testing about right here. No one has an IPD that wide, so cutting off right there is totally fine. And it is reliable. I've done this thousands of cycles on my other binoculars. It's the same system, just moved over into a new binocular. One thing that is not shown on this bridge, and you might have noticed, is the hole inside the bridge. This is so that you can actually drill the wire channel through. There's going to be a plug in there that seals it off from water and all that good stuff. I just don't have the plug in right now because I'm still working on how I'm going to be holding the plug in. I haven't decided whether I trust only press fit enough. It is probably going to be some method of press fit plus epoxy or a resin or silicone sealant, something like that. I just haven't quite decided and tested enough to just send it on these ones just yet. But they will be fully sealed. There's gaskets all around, O-rings all around. These will be IPX, whatever it is, just toss it in a pool and it's totally good to go. As long as your lenses are mil spec and they have all the O-rings correct, then you're good to go. If you have any other questions for me, just leave it in the video description or the comments or whatever it's called, and I will reply to them. Ask away. Anything that you ask, I'll reply to. These will be EGAC compatible, and you can use the old plastic EGACs, the ones that have those two plastic pots on it that are really tall and they stick out a lot. A lot of binoculars don't fit those because they're so tall. These ones have been designed specifically around those. So if you have the older Omni 5, 6, 7 tubes, these will work no problem. If you have the modern tubes, it'll work no issues. The one thing I haven't tested yet is a mixture of manufacturer's tubes. So if you mix an L3 and an L-bit, I do have one L3 and one L-bit in this. They're both modern tubes. So when I have the manual game boards, I will be testing that to see if it makes any difference, if they are compatible together, if there's any remedy that I can have to make it so that way you can mix the manufacturer's tubes. You know, if you score a screaming deal on one tube or the other, it would be nice to be able to use and mix the two manufacturers. I personally like doing so myself. You can get good deals on it. You don't have to buy a matched pair. It's kind of overrated to match anyways. But yeah, I think that sums it all up. If you guys have questions, let me know. I'm glad to answer, glad to, answer anything that you guys have for me. Thank you.